Okay, good morning, students. Good morning, students. So till now we have discussed till module 3. So we have deal with structural problems where structural forces are acting on the body. So now we shall deal with the heat transfer. So that is a module 4, class 1. My name is Shivarama Krishna. So we shall start with the heat transfer. So introduction part. So why we need to consider heat transfer? So till now what we have discussed with the structural problems and structural forces. Apart from the structural forces, heat transfer also acts an important role in that. So where we need to consider the heat transfer uh, heat transfer distribution, heat distribution or temperature distribution within the body. So here the knowledge of the temperature distribution within a body is important in many engineering problems. These information will be useful in computing the heat added to remove from a body. So here so we need to consider the temperature. Example, very best example is like our IC engine. So where IC engine temperature will be maximum when it is in running. So we have to remove the heat from that. So we are using the fins. And if we go for four wheelers, we are going to use some sort of fluid flows where the heat can be transferred. So this heat transfer is very important to analyze so that the material should not get damaged with this heat transfer. If the heat transfer is more, what happens? The material property is going to change. So is going to change. So the magnitude of this thermal stresses will influence the design of the devices such as boilers, steam turbines and jet engines. That's what I have given example of the piston and cylinder. So the first step in calculating the thermal stresses is determine the temperature distribution within the body. So now we have to analyze at what point what is the temperature rise and what is the temperature drop. Based on that we are going to design or we are going to formulate the component. Okay, so we shall start with the energy balance equation. It is a conservation of the energy. So where inflow of the system plus energy generated inside the system. When a heat is flowing into a component, energy is generated is equal to outflow of the system and internal energy. And internal energy here, the slide it is missing down here, and internal energy where inside it is generated. So here energy inflow plus generation, energy generation is equal to outflow flood internal heat generation. So next we shall move on to the rate equations. So rate equations, we know that conduction, convection and radiation. You are already familiar with conduction, convection and radiation in heat transfer subject. So however we shall deal here. So definition here is conduction is a transfer of heat through materials within any net motion of mass of the material. So here is the formula. So where K is the thermal conductivity, A is the normal area and T is the temperature, X is the length of the parameter. Okay, next convection is a process by which thermal energy is transferred between the solid and the fluid. So where Q is equal to HA T minus T infinity, where H is the heat transfer coefficient, A is the area, surface area of the body which heat flows, and T is the temperature of the surface body, and T infinity is the temperature of the surrounding medium. Okay, fine. So also T infinity we can call it as a room temperature. Okay, fine. So this I am not going to discuss in detail. Already you know what is conduction, convection. Next we shall move on to the radiation. You know the radiation, it is a magnetic waves. So without the two body surfaces, with the absence of the medium, so the energy is going to transfer where Q is equal to sigma. It's a Stefan-Boltzmann constant. Emissivity of the surface, A is the area and T is the absolute temperature and absolute surrounding temperature. But the radiation heat flux in the proportional to the fourth power of the absolute temperature, which causes the problem to be non-linear. This mode of heat transfer is not considered here. Means what? In our finite element analysis, heat transfer. So here heat transfer is done only for 1D problems, one dimensional problems. So in this one dimensional problems, we are not considering the radiation. So here in this heat transfer, we are not considering radiation. Next we shall move on to the derivation of elemental stiffness matrix for the heat flow. Heat flow for conduction. So here conduction matrix for a one dimensional heat flow. So here we are deriving for the conduction stiffness matrix, conduction one dimensional heat flow stiffness matrix. So for that we shall consider an element which has a nodes. So here the nodes we just say T1 and T2 temperature points. So those are the node points. So here I will consider an element which has a length L, and at node 1 T1, node 2 T2, and I will consider a datum 0. So node 1, that is T1, is at a distance from the origin is x1, T2 is at x2. So where length of the element, when I consider the coordinate system, it will be x1 minus x2. Sorry, this is x2 minus x1. This is x2 minus x1. So that you make a correction there. That is x2 minus x1. So next, so consider 1D bar element, that's what I have explained. And where for the element which I consider, I will consider K, which is a thermal conductivity of the material. So we know the stiffness matrix. So stiffness matrix Ke for the conduction element. So here the strain energy I am consider. Here B is the strain energy, where total volume integration of the V, B is the strain energy into dV. So where D is the thermal conductivity for 1D element. So here where B is the strain displacement. So this equation we get from the interpolation model. So directly I have wrote here. So where B is the strain energy matrix, it is given by dN1 by dx, dN2 by dx, where N1 is equal to x2 minus x1 x by LE, N2 is equal to x minus x1 by LE. These are called the shape functions, where N1 and N2 are the shape function. So here D is equal to K, where K for the 1D conduction problem, where K is the thermal conductivity. So for 1D problem, D will be K. For 2D and 3D, the D matrix is going to change, but we are considering dealing with one dimensional problem. So here for 1D, the D value becomes K. So if I substitute here, so if I integrate N1, if I differentiate N1 with respect to X, if I differentiate N2 with respect to X, I will get the B matrix here. So here the B matrix is minus 1 by LE, 1 by LE. So it is in differentiation. So B transpose, I will write in a transpose form. This I will call it as equation 2. Next, substituting this equation 2 in equation 1, what I got? The integration B transpose K into B. What is this K? The D matrix. The D matrix, I said D matrix for the 1D bar element, it is K. K is the thermal conductivity. When I multiply the B transpose and B, I will get this value. And here I left with all constant except dx. If I integrate 0 to L with dx, so I will get x limit 0 to L, so that becomes L. So here I got AKL, and this becomes matrix remains as it is. Here I have integrated dx with limits from 0 to L. I got what? L. So if I put this L inside, so finally I got the stiffness matrix for 1D heat conduction. 1D heat conduction. So be careful. 1D heat conduction problem, I have the stiffness matrix. Ke is equal to AK by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1 1. It is same as the structural problem for the bar element, 1D bar element, where A is the area of the element, K is the thermal conductivity, L is the effective length of the element. So instead of E by L, so in the structural problems we use E, where E is the Young's modulus. So in thermal problems we are going to use K. That is what? Thermal conductivity. Fine. So next we shall move on to the problem. Before we are going to move on to problem, so points you have to remember. So here the equilibrium equation is KT is equal to F, where here in nodes we never bother about the deflection, we bother about the temperature. Means at particular nodes what is the temperature distribution. So here K is the stiffness, T is the temperature, and F is the force. So F is the force. Force is nothing but temperature distribution forces, okay, that we are going to deal. So for the forces we have a separate vectors, so that we are going to deal here. So stiffness matrix for the 1D conduction, this already we have derived. Now 1D conduction with free end convection. So when we have a conduction problem with convection, so KH at end. So always the convection is going to happen at one surface or one area. So here at end I have specified HA is equal to 0, 0, 0, 1. So this is a convection formula with in coinciding with the conduction, means conduction is happening at one surface, convection is happening. This formula we are going to use when conduction and convection both are acting. So we need to add these two, conduction formula and convection formula, where K is equal to Kc plus Kh, where Kc is the conduction, H is the convection. Okay, so here K is equal to, so this is the normal addition of matrix addition. So here I have added this value and this value, I will get the global stiffness matrix for the conduction and convection. Next, force vector. So now how to identify the force vector? Here A H T infinity into A into 1, where A is the area, H is the heat transfer coefficient, and T infinity is what? Surrounding temperature medium, okay, or surrounding medium temperature. Fine. So this is the force vector for the convection. Be careful, it is the force vector for the convection. So 1D heat conduction with convection and internal heat generation. So here when we have an internal heat generation, so this formula is we are going to use instead of convection formula, and we are going to substitute the value. So force vector due to heat generation. So here two formulas are there. One is when conduction convection is happening with normal force vector we are going to get. But when we have an internal heat generation, this formula is going to change, where K value and force vector value is going to change when there is a heat is generated inside the component. Okay, so these are the formulas you need to remember. So next we shall start with the problem. So problem on heat transfer. So we shall start with a composite wall. First one, an induction furnace wall is made up of 3 layers as specified here. Inside, middle and outer layer as shown in figure, with thermal conductivity K1, K2, K3 as specified the values in the question given data, and convection heat transfer coefficient H and temperature surrounding medium T infinity. So here what is happening? Convection is happening. Set at initial point. What is happening at the initial point? So determine the nodal temperature. This is the temperature. Determine the nodal temperature. So here what is happening here? I have 3 walls. For each wall I have a different thermal conductivities K1, K2, K3. Here length of the walls he has given 25 centimeter, 5 centimeter and 3 centimeter. Here 600 degrees Celsius, the temperature, initial temperature I am giving at node 1, okay, or at wall 1. So when now conduction is happening through this wall and it transfers. At the end of the wall, what convection is going to happen? Means what? At node, at the last node, the convection is going to happen. So here lengths are given. So be careful. Here in thermal conductivity is given watt per meter Kelvin, but here degree Celsius I have, and now I am going to convert this value into Kelvin, and here centimeter into meters I have converted. Okay. Okay. The very first step is what? Finite element model is given by. So this is the wall I have divided into straight line, divided into 3 parts, element 1, element 2 and element 3, where I have a nodes T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay. So here our nodes are nothing but temperatures, okay, temperature points. So next we shall start with the elemental stiffness matrix of the heat conduction. So conduction, heat conduction formula is what? Kc is equal to AKL by AK by L, 1 minus 1 minus 1, 1. So we know K1 value, L1 value. A is constant. In the given data, one more thing, important thing I forgot. In the given data, he didn't specify the area. If he is not specifying the area, assume area is unity 1. Okay, fine. Now we shall move on to the element stiffness matrix for the element 1, element 2 and element 3. So as we know the thermal conductivity of K1, K2, K3 value, and I know the L1, L2, L3 value, I will substitute the values and I will get the matrix element 1, element 2 and element 3. So here you observe carefully, in the element 1 I have wrote 1, 2, 1, 2. For the element 2, 2, 3, 2, 3. For element 3, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay. So what is this 1, 2? So here node 1, node 2, this is node 2, node 3, this is node 3, node 4. So same way I have wrote. So now I have to assemble based on this node connection. So now I am going to assemble, that is what global stiffness matrix due to heat conduction Kc is equal to. So now finally I will get what? This total addition. So here observe carefully here, 34 plus 5, 5 plus 2.6, 2.6 plus, sorry, 2.66. So here these two values are added. So we need to add according to the finite element addition of the matrix here. So finally I got the Kc value. So heat conduction is taking where? Heat conduction is taking at node 4. Fine. So here heat conduction is taking at node 4. This is a node 1, node 1, node 2, node 3 and node 4. So now since at node 4 heat is lost due to surrounding by convection because it is exposed. So stiffness matrix due to convection. So we have a convection formula only at node 4. So KH3, here observe carefully, the stiffness matrix only at element 3 have wrote, because element 1 and element 2 there is no convection is happening, only at element 3, that to end surface. That is the reason why we have a 0 0 0 1. So this 0 0 indicates that at node 3 it is 0, but 1 indicates that at node 4 there is some value. So finally I got the stiffness value for the convection. Now if I global it, so for the global, here what happens, KH1 and KH2 stiffness matrix at 1 and 2, stiffness matrix for the first element and second element, there is no convection is happening. So convection is happening only at node 3. So finally a global matrix, what I will get, 4 by 4 matrix I will get. Finally if I add according to the finite element matrix addition, I got the convection formulae. Now what? Global stiffness matrix considering both convection and conduction, Kc and Kh. Now Kc and Kh we have to add regular matrix addition. Okay. So finally I got what? This value. Fine Baba. So here only 45 value is added at 2.66. I got 47.66. Fine. So now next force vector due to free end convection, that is only at node 4. That is the reason why in the formula itself we can observe the matrix as 0 1. What is 0 1 here? At node 4 means at element 3 I have 3 comma 4. This is 3, this is 4. 3 is 0. That indicates that at node 3 there is no convection. So here I have a 1. It indicates that at node 4 there is a convection. So here I have the formula. So now what happens here? So this is the force vector formula. So if I substitute the A value, H value, T infinity value, and I got this values here. The global force vector, here the global force vector also we have to consider. At node 1, 2 and 3 there are no force vector, only at node 4 because there is a convection is taking place. Fine. So next we shall go to the equilibrium equation. So already we know equilibrium equation is what? K T into F. Fine. So here I know the K value, it is a combination of convection and conduction, and T is a T1, T2, T3, T4 nodal formula, and F is a force vector 0 0 1 0 1 3 6 3 5 value. So this I will call it as equation 1. So now little bit different for the heat transfer problem. So now what I have to do here, how to solve this equation here is, as per our given problem, 600 degree Celsius, at 600 degree Celsius, 600 degree Celsius is the initial temperature is passing through the medium. So now 600 degree is a constant temperature is acting at node 1. So now what happens, now I am going to eliminate this value here, as if we are eliminating fixed end in the structural problems. This is the heat transfer where there is a constant temperature. I will consider it as a fixed. Means what? So this node 1 I am going to eliminate. So here what happens here is, so at node 1, so first column of this matrix, I will show you first column of this matrix and first row of this matrix I am going to eliminate. Fine. So now in this way I am going to solve, okay, where I need to eliminate what? I need to eliminate the constant temperature at node 1. So first row and first column I have eliminated, okay. Now the problem comes here. So if I eliminate this row and this column, what happens? The T1 is vanished, because I know the T1 value. What is T1? T1 is 600 degrees Celsius. If I vanish this, my problem, if I solve vanishing this, if I solve only this 3 by 3 matrix, the solution what I get is error. So I won't get the exact solution. So what to do that? Now what to do? So from equilibrium equation, what I got is this equation I have got based on the equilibrium K T into F, okay. Now if I eliminate, the T1 is going to vanish. So this T1 600 degrees Celsius I have to substitute in the force vector, so that this T1 can be acted at T2, T3, at T2 and T3, okay. So means what? The temperature, if I understand carefully here, if I eliminate this thing, so T1 is vanishing. So temperature till now, till the problem, till at this stage, I didn't consider the T1 value anywhere. So in this equilibrium condition, I need to consider T1 value, so that the problem will be in equilibrium state. So for that, what I am going to do, now I am going to consider second row of the equation 1. Can you see the second row? Second row of the equation. I can't consider first row, because first row it is eliminating. Second row, why I am considering? Because I have a T1. If I substitute 34 into T1, I will get the T1 value. Fine, Baba? Okay. Next, so now when I consider the row 2, that is in equation 1, so what I will get here? 34 T1, 39 T2 minus 5 T3 is equal to 0. Since T1 is known, 600 plus 273 degree Kelvin, sorry, 600 plus 273, so it is in Kelvin, I have converted into Kelvin. So now what happens here? So if I substitute this T1 value here, finally I got 39 T2 minus 3T, 5 T3 is equal to 29682. So in this problem I got T1 value here. So T2 value I got it. So now what I am going to do, I will substitute this equation 2 in, so thus the eliminating approach, eliminating first row and first column, because constant temperature is acting. At the same time I am replacing the equation, replacing the second row with this equation. So what I got this equation here is the same thing. So if you observe the previous equation, that is equation number 1, this matrix is not changing, except the force vector we got the extra here. So how I got this value? I got this value when I considered the temperature T1. Fine, Baba? I hope this you have understood. So from this regular on simplification I will get T2, T3 and T4. So T1 is what? 873 degree Kelvin, T2 is 846, T3 is 664 and T4 is 323. So you can observe carefully here, at T4 there is a drop in temperature. Why it is drop in temperature? Because there is a convection is going to take place. The heat is transferred through the medium. Fine, Baba? So this is what problem 1. Next we shall move on to the problem 2 here. Okay. So now so same problem here. Now what I have done, I have replaced the ends here. So now I have given the initial temperature at this point. At this point what happened? There is a convection is taking place. Means what? At node 1 convection is taking place. At node 4 there is a constant heat temperature is going to take place. Okay, Baba? Fine. So here is what a finite element model. The same procedure what you can Follow here, same conduction, convection. So we have here. So next, the global stiffness matrix I am going to get here. Since at node 1 heat is lost to the surrounding by the convection because it is exposed, stiffness matrix due to convection at node 1. So same thing at node 1. So here observe carefully here. Here you can observe carefully. In the previous problem, this formula, you observe this formula. Here at element 3, node 4 I have a value, so I got the 1. Can you see here? 0, 0, 0, 1. But now the problem is little bit different. So in our problem now, so conduction as usual, the second problem, conduction is same. But when I come to the convection, you see the formula AH10001. So here the formula is changed. Why it is changed? Because 1, 2. So here it is 1, 2, 1, 2. Means what? At 1, 1 I have the convection is having. So the value is 1. But in the previous problem is what? Convection is happening at 4. So the value here at this point it becomes 1 here. Fine, Baba? So be careful here. So you need to change the formula where the convection is happening. So here our convection is happening at node 1. So here 1, 0, 0, 1. So here this you should be careful. Okay, fine. So here the same convection is happening at node 1. So what will be the global stiffness matrix? Here you observe. So at element 2 and element 3 it is 0 only at element 1. So my value I will get is what? 30 here. In the previous problem I got the value at this end because convection is happening at node 4. But here my convection is happening at node 1. So my value I got is here. Now convection, conduction and convection I am going to add. So finally I got this value. Okay. So next force vector due to free end convection. Here also same thing. Here also observe carefully here. Here I have a F is not 0, 1. I have 1, 0. In the previous problem I have a 0, 1 because the convection is happening at the end, last. But here my convection is happening at the first. So I have the value 1 at the top. So according to the convection where is happening, our force vector and convection heat transfer formula I am going to change here. So force vector remains as it is. So finally the global force vector, what happens? I got the value at the top because convection is happening at node 1. So the equilibrium equation is given by here. Now again the same problem here. Now I know which temperature, I know the T4 value here, not T1 value. I know the T4 value. Why? In the given problem this is the T4 value. T4 value is 25 degrees Celsius, which is constant acting along this directions. Convection is happening at node 1. So at node 4 there is a constant temperature. So now what happens here? Now I need to eliminate last row and last column of the equilibrium equation. So here again the same problem. If I eliminate the last row and last column, T4 value I am going to vanish here. So I need to get the T4 value. So to get the T4, what happens here? I can't take the first, I can't take the second because I have 0 values here. T4 value I can't get it. So only option is what? I have to consider the row 3. Third row I have to consider. The same thing. So I will consider the third row. Here I have considered the third row. In the third row I will substitute the T4 value. I will get this equation. Now what happens? Now I am going to eliminate and replace the third row value. So now what I got is this value 0 minus 50 425. This matrix remains as it is, but the force vector this value is going to add. Why this value is going to add? Because of the temperature T4 I got the force vector at node 3. Okay. Later the same simplification. After simplification now I am going to get the values here. Now observe carefully here. So T1 is 439.4 degrees Celsius, T2 is 162 degrees Celsius and T3 is 70.285 degrees Celsius, because it is a induction furnace. So there is the temperature so here the temperature is high at the convection, low at the initial. So fine. So this is how the problem for the composite wall. In the next class we shall discuss with few more problems. Okay, thank you.